consequences, I can share that with people because I can't give what I do have. So the way I start loving someone unconditionally is to see them for who they are. So just like I took off the mask of my father and mother, I took off the mask of my wife. I took off the mask of my son and my daughter, and I see them for who they are. And to respect them is to respect their no, which is just as powerful as their yes. But I also respect them to experience, for them to experience the consequences of their own choices. And that is what, for me, unconditional love is: the willingness to engage someone without the need to impose my will or subjugate my will to them, and know that I only control to the tips of my finger. I don't control their perception. I don't control their will. They do. I control my will and I control my own perception. But in order for me to know exactly what I control, it starts by knowing who I am, not as a definition, but as the experience of being me.
I do is I actually write or text out a response, like, to myself. And so I know, because I'm telling myself how I feel. And then, like, once I tell myself how I feel, I kind of like break it down a little bit more so I can tell that person how I feel, And like sometimes what I'll do is like, hey, like, you need to give me like 5 minutes. Like, give me 5 minutes. I'm going to tell you how I feel, because I need to process how I'm feeling and what I'm thinking instead of just like completely getting upset, blacking out, and like walking away.
Yeah.
So I have a huge journal, and I started writing a lot just because there's like a lot of things that I'm working on, and that's one of them. And it's actually helped me a lot, especially like with my, my friendship with my best friend Mary of 10 years. It's well, with her, it's to a point where like I'm like, hey, give me a second, and she knows what I'm doing. She knows I'm like processing the thought before I'm like saying it.
Yeah.
So she'll give me a second. She's like, just tell me. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I'll tell her.
You can do your best to maintain what your healthy weight is and what you need to do to stay healthy longevity wise. So I think for me, being 46 years old and knowing the consequences of reenacting behavior that I was doing in my 20s can be so much more severe. And I've just created this, I guess, mindset of, this is for athletic performance. This is what this is. But your everyday life, you have to be okay with, you may not be 10% body fat and 138 pounds. Your normal weight is maybe 17% and you're 145 to 150 pounds. And you have to just be okay with that. And I love the challenge of seeing how the body can change.
This has to matter. I go in thinking I'm making something for my grandkids. Like, my grandkids are going to watch this interview. That's my intention going in. So bringing that level of importance to the work that you do. The work you do matters. Today matters. It's not just about hitting some goal in 5 years. Like, now, today, this is your chance to do something amazing. And if you took that approach every single day, you may not hit it every day, but I guarantee you, 1 year from now, you'll be a totally different person.